Hey guys, I just wanted to go through the directions for the African American History Museum mini project so that you can use your time well working on this in mastery. This should not need to be done at home. We should be able to complete it during mastery time if you're using your class time well. So if you go into classwork in Google Classroom and you scroll down to mastery, and you go to the Black History Museum mini project, you should have three attachments. So I added one that has examples. You have your copy of the slides that you can edit and type into to plan and create your banner if you are going to do that digitally. You have a link to the slides with famous Black Americans, and each one has three sources of information underneath it. I worked really hard to make sure to pick sources that you would be, or that would be easy for you to get information from so that you didn't have to read through or sort through a large amount of text. And I chose video clips that were engaging and short. So you can pause the music. That was an issue this morning, all the music coming out at the same time. But so you can choose one of these Black Americans. Ruby Bridges has a Spanish link too. And then you are going to follow directions on your slides attachment. So whenever we do anything in Google Slides, you must zoom in using either the magnifying glass in the toolbar or go to View and Zoom in, okay, so that you can read and see everything clearly enough. You will just, whenever it says type here, you put your name, the date, class period, and then you follow the directions in order. You have to choose a famous African American to spotlight at the Team Awesome Black History Museum. So you're going to use the museum with those links and the bottom of this slide to choose somebody that you think is worthy enough to appear in our Team Awesome exhibit. And you're going to then, once you've chosen your person, you're going to use the links to find 5 to 6 pieces of information that support your choice. They're evidence that this person is worthy of being in our display, in our museum exhibit. You are not to copy and paste. You are to jot down notes in that section in your own words, and you must use the sources provided because those are credible sources of information. So the first box here is to brainstorm, looking at the list, which 2 or 3 are you interested in? And then, you just kind of go through and look more closely at the links to see which one is the most interesting to you. And then at the bottom, you're going to type the person's name into that text box that you are using for your banner project. So then it says on the next slide to create a list of questions that are things you would like to learn about this person. So jot down some questions that you think will give you the right kind of information for a museum exhibit. What did they accomplish? Why are they famous? Where are they from? Etc., etc. Okay, then here is where you take your notes. So the notes should be taken in bullet form and should again be in your own words. And if you jot down notes that way, then you're sure not to plagiarize, because when you put them back together in your final banner, it will be your words that are being used. Okay, so you collect 5 or 6 pieces of information. You also want to link all of the sources that you use in this box underneath the banner. Once you've done that, then you can begin to design and create a really visual, catchy, colorful, clear, neat banner for your person. And that, again, can be done digitally or on paper. You have to include a picture of the person in that You can insert or paste an image. You can put a text box and type their name underneath it, and then this space is for a quote that you like, anything that they've said, words of wisdom that speak to you. So there are some examples, and the examples show the difference between a weak and a strong banner. So here's a strong example of Frederick Douglass. Clear, neat, 6 pieces of information with enough detail to really understand why he's important. Down here is where your links will go. So just ignore the directions that are there. This is a weak model. Frederick Augustus Washington Bayley was born in 1818. He tried to escape slavery twice before succeeding. He regularly attended abolitionist meetings. The difference between that and this, where was he born? He was born into slavery in Talbot County, Maryland. He was sent to Baltimore to the home of Hugh Auld, and Hugh's wife taught him the alphabet when he was 12. That's really important because he becomes a really famous author and speaker. All right, so strong model of Thurgood Marshall, weak model. I'll let you look through those. Here's an example of some done on paper, clear, eye-catching. You can color in the edges if you're doing it that way, or fill the edges. There are ways to do that on slides too, if you want to experiment, okay? So then when your banner is complete, then you will turn it in person or digitally, and we will put them together and create our museum exhibit.